community sense of like this like happening place in terms of community. I think that could be branding of Igarai. So
exactly. That's
like you don't need a lot of money to do that. Like, you know, to be interactive in this community, but something that creates this like Igarai is a happening place, and I want to be there.
Yeah, I think we also have to make sure that we talk to them a lot though, because I guess there might be. I don't know if there would be an issue. It would be good probably to have almost like a small bit of tourism or something almost, but that may be something that they don't want as well.
You gotta eat bed and breakfast.
If they own the houses, which I'm not sure how much of the ownership is, what happens if prices go up, things like that are big issues. So, but yeah, definitely.
But I think it's beyond
that could be
like tourism. It's really it's like pride, and like feeling that that's the place you belong, and it's, you know, like for example, for me, right, when Caitlin went to Brazil with me and I took another friend with me to Brazil too. The first thing when you drive out of the international airport in Sao Paulo, you see all these like favelas everywhere, and it's like, you know, in a sense, it's there, it's the reality, but that's the gateway for somebody that's coming in the country, and that's the first impression, right, that you gotta see. And I think it's like, it's already talking about all of our like social problems right away, right? All the problems we have, instead of showing the beauty that Brazil actually has to offer, right? So for me, in a sense, when I get home, it's like you're already dealing with all those like issues that are pretty heavy that are imported into the country. And I think it's the same way, you know, if the people are like you're saying, like if there's this gateway to Igarai that gives them pride, that's the first thing like they see as they walk into their town. It's like a different spirit, right? And it's like, even if it's not directly affecting their living space.
But that's that placemaking piece that's so critical to make people think differently about where they live.
You mentioned a map whenever you were gone, like how it's not listed on any maps and how the people there might want haven't seen on a map, and that got us started on kind of a like identity and a pride of the location, and how that could be something.
There's a sign outside of the community that says you gotta eat, but if you look at it, it's so depressing. I mean, it's like I feel as though it looks concrete, and I feel as though, you know, it's not saying that that's a bad sign, but it's saying like, you know, that sign can be improved in a way that gives them.
Maybe if there's like if there's a flag of like Igarai or something, like, you know how when we landed on the moon, like we like this is our land, kind of like this is American flag. But something like that, like that creates this like, you know, like you're part of the Igarai community, like you're established, and then you kind of get into this like, you know, pathway that we kind of lead into the community. Maybe not the brand, like I don't want to use the word flag, but something that kind of has idea of it.
But it's true.
Not the flag, but something idea of it.
But you know, schools have. It's not just about the school name; it's about the school symbol too, right? Like that is a huge part of it. Whether that be a mascot or whether that, you know, it's not necessarily a mascot, but you know, in the same way. And typically schools, they have a flag, you know, like that. When you see that flag, most of us can. It doesn't say what it is, but we know based off of just what it looks like, right? So maybe in the same way, that's a great idea. As like a design of like the community logo, and there's no better people to find out what should be on that than the people, you know, right? Like, you know, it seems as though coffee has been a really big, important part of their life, working on the farm.
But it might not be everyone's identity, too.
No, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, these are things that, you know, they've mentioned, but I mean, you would have to just get a broad view of the community.
Yeah, but you have a contest for the school kids to come up with it.
Yeah, I mean.
That's where Seattle got its name. Seattle's the Emerald City. That's like our, like, you know, there's the Big Apple. We're the Emerald City. It was a school contest in the 40s.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
For what level?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it was the 40s, but it was a school. It was a school contest.
When you say school, like, elementary?
The 40s would be right after.
It was just a contest. Kids like wrote in and suggested stuff, and then they got put in the paper and people voted.
Did you hear that?
What? No, I didn't hear the last part.
Say, Nicholas, say what you just said about Seattle.
Oh, I was saying that like every city in the United States has like a nickname. You know, New York's the Big Apple, Seattle's the Emerald City, and that's known, but that came from a school contest a long time ago where school children suggested the nickname for the city, and then people voted on it in like the news. I think it was in the newspaper.
Seattle Times. No, I'm just joking. I don't know if there's anything.
There is a Seattle Times.
I figured. This is a good guess.
A number of years ago, I was working with a Tibetan refugee village in Paripatna, southern part of India, and I had gone there for a month, and I had had a previous relationship with people there, and we held town councils and things to kind of look at what were a few steps that the community could take to make a difference. And the community was not on a map. There weren't signs that said how far away they were from Paripatna. And actually that was the very first thing they did, was had signs painted, and they made this arch of Tibetan prayer flags, and it was this placemaking piece with actual signs that then said where they were in relationship to other places. And it was interesting the way something like that can have.
It seems so minor.
It seems so minor
for us, because we are signage overload here. I mean, I could tell you by getting on the highway here how far it is to Indiana or Indianapolis. I mean, like, we are literally sign overloaded here, but I could see how such a small little thing that could be added could make such a big impact.
It's an acknowledgement.
I don't think it's a sign, but it's more like language, because there's so many words and stuff. Like, if there is some like sculpture thing, like that's a big, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, language is big too.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, but somehow we can create this, like, by moving into space, like a car wash. Like, we can actually, it's fun to kind of go through car wash. Everyone likes
the arch.
Like, that kind of thing is like kind of interesting, I think. Not like the language,
right?
But like the experience that you go through the space.
So Marcelo, there was talk that the sidewalks in front of people's homes are their responsibility to build and maintain. Have most people already built the sidewalks, or is there just kind of a dirt patch where a sidewalk should be?
A dirt path. Very few houses built their sidewalks. You can count on a single hand.
Okay. So it's like a placemaking mechanism, going through and building some sort of consistent path network of sidewalk. Come up with a design for how that works. You know, what curb cuts look like, what the curb width is, what the plantings look like. Having that be a consistent thing that's deposited.
They need their own yellow brick road for their Emerald City. Right? I'm just saying.
Wait, should I finish this sentence?
No, that wasn't a sentence.
And I heard mentioning of the high-speed cars and stuff that's going in that place. So that was kind of surprising.
Maybe they don't have signs for speed limit.
But I mean, not the signs, but the speed bumps or something like that.
Yeah, because there's no police.
Yeah, it's not about the speed. Like, it's not about the sign. But it's like more like you shouldn't be able to drive fast in that kind of place. Like maybe like winding or something.
Yeah. Let me ask the girls that police story. Hold on. Simone.
The idea that the
Tem polícia em Igaraí? Não, nenhuma. Nem posto policial, nem nada. Yes, it's true. There's no police station, nothing. Police are the citizens.
Oh, citizens. Okay.
Hey, look at that.
Get a bunch of berets and red jackets and start the Igarai Guardian Angels.
Yes.
We are getting ready for the pizza.
Oh no, and we're not going to be able to eat it. We have to watch.
Coffee, pizza, and hot weather.
Oh, they make they
sitting here cold and hungry.
They make these pizzas. It's all homemade bread, and then they have like 50 ingredients, and you literally slop the olive oil on and all the fresh vegetables and everything, and then they put it in the pizza oven.
I was hungry.
I know.
Let me describe delicious food in detail.
We're in agony thinking about the pizza.
And it's organic.
It's all organic. So if we go live there,
Oh wow.
Oh, there's the oven.
They have an oven.
there's the oven.
So they can do things like that, like just create a food for just public and people would eat it. Like if there's food, people go. So we can create that kind of place.
So you guys have to go just because the farm is like amazing. If you eat the organic food for a week, you start to feel like a different human being.
Yeah.
I'll feel like my McDonald's I had this morning.
Oh no. No.
So should we just like call it a day and let us incubate this and figure out a time that we can Skype again, even if we should Skype with you to keep talking separately from the community?
Yes, that's a good idea. And I'll post more information and more images and bits and pieces of this conversation at the Facebook.
Okay. So what's our next step? Is to just think about things for a little bit and then talk again?
I think we should stimulate people to start sending ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as we do that, we will, you know, it will be a lot easier to spread the word and, you know, and feed the process.
Yeah. Okay.
Moves it to Google Earth, embedded Google Earth.
Okay, I'll be open for Skype whenever you need. Just let me know, and we'll set a conversation as you get together. Eventually, we can do that on a class if you want to do that in a class, one of your classes. Just let me know.
Okay. And thank you for all, I know you guys have had to do a lot of work to get this group of people here and to come last weekend and get people ready and to work on all the things that it's taken. And Sylvia had to go get people and coerce them to come. So we know you've worked very hard for this.
Yes, thank you, Marcel. This was great.
Well, I'll have a compensation here, the pizza. Okay, so
are you happy? Are you happy with what happened so far?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of hard work, and we managed to get their trust in many aspects, and I think this is evolving to a right direction.
Good. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So see you then.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.